Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is going to be a general daily reading for October the 9th. We're going to get right on into it. I do individual sign readings for anybody who's interested. Let's see what we have going on here for you. Let's see what we have here. What's going on for the collective? Thursday, October 9th. What energies do we have here? Okay. What else? We got Sagittarius energy, Virgo, Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, more Virgo, Aries. Your overall energy is the Seven of Cups, Scorpio. Somebody here could have Venus in Scorpio or Venus in one of these signs here. But listen, Seven of Cups often shows up when there's confusion, right? When there's this energy of a smokescreen, illusions, things of that nature. I feel like there's something here that's off to, or that has gotten off to a bad start. And if it's not a bad start, it's just sort of like there's been some awkward misstep or something of that nature here. You're starting off with the Five of Wands. Underneath it, you have the Seven of Swords. Somebody might be looking shady or deceptive, or they're looking too calculated or too perfect. There's this energy here where something has started, like off cue, or it has gotten off cue. That's the energy that I get here. Five of Wands can be chaos, conflict, competition, strife. Yeah, it feels choppy, That's the best way I can describe that energy here. But then you have Temperance and you have the Nine of Pentacles. It seems to me things are balancing out. This is actually a really cool energy here because it seems like there's been something that is awkward, confusing. It's almost like maybe there's been a misunderstanding here. Or you end up, this is the energy collective where you end up befriending someone that you didn't like at first, or they didn't like you at first and you end up befriending them. And some of you, maybe you're already friends with this person and you're figuring out on this day that, you didn't give the greatest first impression, or vice versa. They're figuring this out about you. But, there's something about this energy here that feels like what started off cue is like hitting perfect pitch. You've got Temperance here, so you're harmonizing now. It's a really beautiful energy. Some of you, maybe... That is weird that it's coming through in that way. Some of you, there's been a connection here where you may feel like a person doesn't even like you, but they're connecting with you. You're connecting with them like you're talking. It may seem like argumentative or combative, or it may seem like they're giving a weird energy, right? Where it may even seem like they're playing games. But I feel like with Temperance showing up, there's a harmony that's brought into this situation. The Nine of Pentacles showing up, I feel like there is some sort of new understanding on an individual level of how you operate as individuals. So there's something about that here with the Nine of Pentacles. It's like, well, me personally, this is how I handle myself in that kind of situation. And you're like, okay, well, I do it differently. That's kind of the energy that I get here. You do have the Magician, which is giving me even more of that energy of something starting off balance, suddenly harmonizing. It feels like something's offbeat, awkward, it's giving that vibe here, and then it hits perfect pitch with this Queen of Wands energy. So, yeah, something finally being fired up, or the match being relit. It's giving me that kind of energy here. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. There's definitely been a lot of confusion in this situation, though. A lot of misunderstanding, people misreading things, or trying to land something in a certain way and it misses the mark. That's the vibe that I sense here from between you and a person. Seems very awkward. Very awkward. Some of you may not realize how awkward it is, especially for those of you collective who you're communicating with this person via text or social media, or you've never met before. If there's not that in-person, like that benefit of reading tone and body language and things like that, or if you just don't know what their day-to-day life really looks like, I feel like it is hard to read. I feel like it does look awkward, or feel awkward. There's an awkward tension here, an awkward silence. What's going on? What is going on here for collective in regards to this spread for Thursday, October 9th? because I want to know how we get here, you know, because we know that we're getting here, right? We know that we're moving from a little bit of a problematic energy, or at least something awkward, something weird, into this understanding, this mutual understanding, this harmony, this balance. It feels like really beautiful energy. The Magician, I even feel like you've kind of manifested this. It's like, I want to figure out where we went wrong in that situation, whether it's a coworker, you know, a friend, a family member, a romantic interest. I feel like a person is softening towards you, or you're softening towards them. Somebody's letting their guard down here. You got the Moon showing up, Pisces and Cancer energy, but this often shows up for hidden things, things that are beneath the surface. Something was going on in a certain situation here. So say, for example, you call them, they've got a tone, or they, you know, they rush off the phone, right? It's giving me that kind of vibe here where you're like, what just happened? You know, and I feel like you're about to find out what was going on there. Or some of you may have felt like something was directed at you and it was not, right? So you could be overhearing something, or someone could be talking to a person and you think that they're talking about you. It's giving me that kind of energy here. 4 of Swords is showing up over top of the 7 of Swords. I feel like there's almost this energy of relief, peace, clarity happening here. But we still haven't seen yet how we get here. We still haven't seen how we get here. What is going on? Because you might think there's this nasty, calculated energy with someone, but I feel like they're a lot like you in how they're viewing this, but they don't know why either. They don't know why either. I feel like there's been some sort of misstep, some sort of misunderstanding. It really feels to me like it's within a conversation that has taken place here. Somebody misunderstood something you said. What's going on? You get the 10 of Wands showing up here. This is a card that often comes through when you're carrying a burden, when something is like weighing you down. Somebody's replaying a moment or replaying a conversation. This could be you, collective, but it feels like it's them. You know how if you like if you go out to eat and the waiter or the waitress brings you your stuff and they're like, enjoy your meal, and you're like, you too. You know, and it's just like keeps replaying in your head. Somebody's like, oh my goodness. It's something like that here. It's not like that, but it's giving me that energy of somebody just replaying something over and over and like cringing at themselves. You've got the Page of Wands energy. This is a conversation. Somebody's like, why not just rip off the Band-Aid? Whether this is you or them, somebody's like, why not just rip off the Band-Aid? We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. So some of you, this is a fire sign, or you're a fire sign. What's going on with the Magician and the Queen of Wands here? But that 7 of Cups, the overall energy is confusion. And so I do think this kind of lasts throughout the day until this conversation occurs, whether you're initiating it or someone else is. There's weird tension about it. Ooh. Love this. King of Pentacles, something stabilizing. Love this. Taurus energy showing up to clarify the Magician. Yeah. So I feel like the energy here that's been so confusing, you're finally on stable ground. You're on the same page with a person here. You've got the 2 of Wands. I feel like you can move forward in a more confident energy, knowing that, you know, maybe you both just handle things differently. Maybe you handle conflict differently. You know, sometimes that'll come through in a toxic way, and I don't think that's necessarily what happened here. I feel more like it's a misunderstanding rather than, oh, you yell when you're mad and, you know, you threaten. Well, that's just how you handle it. That's not what I'm saying here at all, okay? This just seems like somebody who, you know, you misunderstood something they said, or vice versa, right? And you were both reading the situation in a different way as well. So I feel like there is some sort of like heart to heart, understanding, you know, coming face to face with one another, being on the same page. So it does feel like really positive energy, and you're able to move forward more confidently, knowing that what you thought was going on here was not. What you thought this person meant, that's not what they meant, or vice versa. I feel like it does clear this confusion. It does clear the air here. Yeah, 3 of Wands. I feel like you're able to move forward with this person. Some of you, this could be an Aries, but it seems like there is a much brighter future ahead for the 2 of you after, you know, figuring this out here. So that's what I'm seeing for you, collective. I hope that this was helpful or fun or whatever you needed it to be. Don't forget that I do read for other signs, okay? I read for individual signs. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you have cardinal signs, so that is Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, or mutable signs, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius. If you have any of those signs in any of those placements that I mentioned, feel free to watch out for your What's Coming Towards You reading. Those are up now if you want to check the channel for those. But fixed signs will be up soon, so be on the lookout for those if you have those in your chart and want to watch out for them. But yeah, if this is where we part, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and hopefully I will see you next time. Y'all take care. Bye.